Hi, I'm Molly from MPRI and I'm a digital marketer for ethical and sustainable businesses. And I'm here with Alison Rentoul, the founder of Aquamarine Home, who is going to share with us her unique vision for this exciting enterprise, a little bit about her background and her hopes for the future. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Molly. Nice to see you.
You too. So what prompted you to create Aquamarine Home?
It basically came out of a bit of a personal situation that we had when we moved back to Australia at the start of last year. My dad had passed away, and I needed to sell our family home. And that involved, this is down in Barwon Heads in Victoria, and beautiful place in the world. It's a beautiful kind of beachside location, little coastal seaside town. And anyway, it's a gorgeous place, but unfortunately we weren't able to keep living there. I needed to take on the care of my mum because she has Parkinson's disease, and my husband and I were going to be looking after her, but we couldn't all live in the family home that they had there in Barwon Heads because it just wasn't going to fit all of us in there. So I needed to sell this house, and so I set about with my husband, completely refurbishing, redecorating. We stripped out. My dad was a massive reader, so he had bookshelves absolutely everywhere. The whole place was encrusted in books, and I love books myself, but we thought that, potential buyers coming in wouldn't really want to look at all of that, and it looked pretty small and pokey and dark. So I set about just stripping everything out. We repainted the whole place, and then we restyled it, really just turning it into the beautiful, sunny, light-filled beach cottage that we thought the market would want, and that I personally would actually love as well. And it was quite hard once we'd finished. I was really like, oh, I don't want to let this place go, but we really had to do it. But while I was doing all of that, I really found that I couldn't find things to buy to put into the place that I knew the provenance of. Like I was really wanting to create this beautiful coastal vibe to the house and give it a good feeling. But I was doing that with pieces that I was buying from, really cheap shops and places where they had no character. And it seemed to me that the only places that I could find kind of coastal or modern furnishings from were these really kind of mass market shops. And with the price tag being so low on a lot of these items as well, you've got this sort of icky feeling of not really knowing, how can it be made for that money and then sent here and then, then put a markup on it and everything. You just know that the people behind it, the people who are making it, they're either not being paid fairly or possibly even working in slave labor conditions. And, so personally, I sort of felt like there was just this sort of nasty undercurrent or undertone to the finished effect. Like I could look at it and it looked beautiful, but it didn't feel beautiful to me. So that was really when I got the first inklings of an idea for Aquamarine Home, because I just love coastal furnishings and and that whole kind of look, but I couldn't find anything that was ethical or sustainable that had that sort of design aesthetic.
Where does the attraction come from with the coastal inspired interiors? What are you inspired by with that?
Well, I think like a lot of people, I just love the sea. I've grown up with my family were very adventurous. When I was a little kid, they actually built a sailing yacht in their back garden. My crazy dad, this was in inner city Brunswick, by the way, so not even anywhere near the ocean at that point, and they lived beside a railway line. It was quite funny. All the people on the train on the commute to work, when the train would sort of stop at the junction, they'd look out the window and they would shout things out to Dad, like, how's it coming along with the boat? Because they would see him every day. So he launched this little boat, and it was a 24-foot sailing boat, and we used to sail they were teachers. So we used to sail every weekend, and every kind of school holiday we basically spent sailing from our mooring in Hastings down on the Mornington Peninsula. And I just grew up absolutely loving the sea. We used to sail to Tasmania every Christmas as well in this tiny little boat. We would stop at all the islands along the way. And yeah, believe me, it sometimes can be very rough sea on the way to Tasmania. So it was quite a good grounding for me to not get seasick. Because I've got an iron stomach these days. I do a lot of sailing now that we're back in Australia, and I just love it. I think coastal design is very relaxing. It's very peaceful. It gives people a real feeling of calm and harmony and tranquility. Those colours are so soft and calming, blues and aquas and turquoise and white. I've just always loved it. I think a lot of other people do too.
Is that your big picture vision for Aquamarine Home? You want to create a sense of tranquility in people's homes, or is there more to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's sort of two sides to that. So on the one hand, I want people like myself who care about fairness and equality in the world to be able to find beautiful things for their home that not only look good but that feel good as well, so that they can create that kind of tranquil haven, and that beautiful coastal aesthetic in their home and have that beautiful peaceful feeling. But also I feel really strongly, because fairness and equality is such a huge part of who I am. I feel like the people who are making the beautiful things that we're putting in our homes, they deserve as well to live in beautiful, tranquil, peaceful surroundings, and to live in harmony and peace. And then not just the people, but the whole earth. I'm really quite passionate about animal rights and animal liberation as well, and making sure that everything that we are doing as co-inhabitants of this earth is contributing in a positive way to this planet. Because I can't sort of sit comfortably in a space that's been designed and decorated with all of these things if I look around and I see damage and destruction that's being done on the back of that. I mean, maybe I'm just strange, but that's what I see when I look at those things. I wonder, where did it come from? How was it made? What was the cost? What's the cost to our planet? What's the cost to the people that are making it, and maybe the animals that have been impacted as well, like losing their natural habitat, or even harmed in the making of those products. So yeah, that's really where I'm coming from.
Are there any businesses or people that have sort of instilled this importance for you?
I think when I was a sort of teenager, in my teenage years, there was somebody who really inspired me, and that was Anita Roddick. She's the founder of The Body Shop, and I know for a lot of younger people today, they probably look at The Body Shop and they're not really sure, what was the big deal about The Body Shop back in the 90s when it was really in its heyday. But it was amazing. I mean, The Body Shop and Anita, they were the first company to really bring to sort of public awareness the idea of doing business for good, and the fact that sort of instilling fair trade culture into their business practices, going out and finding people to collaborate with in the developing world to make products that they could then sell. And help to raise awareness of what was going on for those people in those countries, and to improve their situation. So that's a really big part of the big picture, and the overall sort of future vision for Aquamarine, that we would be able to really create a big impact by going out and working directly with people in those kinds of countries, sort of following in Anita's wonderful footsteps.
talking about the future vision, what's next for Aquamarine Home? Where do you go from here?
Oh my goodness! Well, it's it's such a steep learning curve. I don't have any background at all in retail or in interior design, not officially anyway. Apart from it having been a lifelong passion and hobby of mine. So yeah, there's lots and lots of learning. We are just online at the moment, and as you know, we only just launched in December 2017, so we haven't been going for that long yet. So at the moment, we're just really focusing on trying to spread the word, trying to reach as many people as we can, trying to build a following on Instagram and Facebook, so that people like me know that we are here. And that we provide a solution to that problem of not being able to find beautiful things for your home that you know where they come from in a coastal design aesthetic. I guess the other side of it is just really building up our product range. So that's something we're really focusing on at the moment. Building up our connections and our partnerships with different people. That's the fun part. I love it so much, and it's like my husband's joking now that I've created myself a business where I get to shop for a living, shop for homewares for a living. Wow, what a great job! And then in the future, we're also trying to develop our own product range as well, and our own product lines, so that we can create this wonderful sort of win-win economy, where the people who are making things are really benefiting. We're working directly with them. We're helping them to develop their communities and to improve their personal and community situations. And at the same time, our customers are benefiting from everything that we're doing as well, and finding, through us more and more beautiful, gorgeous, lovely things that they can bring into their home and feel really good about.
I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you very much, Molly. It's been wonderful speaking with you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.